The morning calm at my ranch shattered like glass under a hammer when sirens cut through the air, sharp and grating. I stood on the porch, coffee in hand, squinting at the red and blue lights flashing across the hay bales I'd stacked late last night. One patrol car rolled up, then another, and a third. My hand grazed my belt for the badge I'd left inside with my phone. Dressed in dusty boots, faded jeans, and a flannel shirt, I watched Deputy Harris approach, his notepad clutched tight, his face twisted like he'd just bitten into a sour apple. "Sheriff, we got a call about unauthorized agricultural structures," he mumbled, avoiding my eyes. I raised an eyebrow and nodded toward the hay bales, lined up neat as soldiers. The wind whistled through the grass, almost mocking the absurdity. Before I could respond, she appeared, Lisa, striding from behind a patrol car like a general in a beige visor, polo shirt, and khakis, clutching a clipboard and waving her phone like a sword. Her voice sliced the air. "There are 15 hay bales in plain sight. It's a violation of community standards. This isn't a livestock zone, it's residential adjacent." I blinked. She was dead serious. "Ma'am," I said, keeping my tone even, "this is private property, zoned agricultural." Deputy Harris started to explain, but Lisa cut him off, jabbing a finger at me. "That's what I told your boss." Her finger hovered inches from my chest, like she was about to curse me to some suburban purgatory. I couldn't help but smile. "I see you don't know who I am," I said, offering my hand. "Sheriff Nathan Brooks, ma'am. County jurisdiction." Her jaw dropped, then snapped shut. She squinted at me like I'd claimed to be a time traveler. "You're the sheriff?" she stammered. Harris nodded awkwardly. "Yes, ma'am. He owns this land and he's the elected sheriff." Lisa's face flushed crimson, like a kettle about to blow. "Well, I still called the police," she snapped. "And you got them," I replied, calm as a summer pond. It might have been funny if it wasn't so pathetic. Lisa had moved to the edge of ranch country 3 months ago, her cookie-cutter house plopped where gravel met dirt. The sight of hay bales on a working ranch seemed to unravel her entire existence. She started pacing, stomping through the grass like she could crush the problem under her sneakers. "I've filed complaints with the HO and the zoning board, and I'll contact the news," she declared. I tilted my head, giving her the grin I save for folks who've stepped in something nasty. "Ma'am, we don't have an HOA out here. Your property's on unincorporated land. You can try the news, but they already loved my goats last summer." Lisa froze, her eyes darting like a cornered cat. She stormed off, muttering about community justice, into her phone. Harris looked like he wanted to vanish. "She's filed 3 complaints in 2 weeks," he said. "Your barn lights are too bright, your fence is too rustic, and your windmill spins aggressively." I chuckled. "Aggressively spinning windmills? That's a new one." I clapped his shoulder. "I'll handle it, Tom." Lisa didn't stop. That evening, an email from the county zoning office landed in my inbox, forwarded from a civilian Lisa's digital petition, complete with 3 signatures and a list of hair-related grievances. She demanded I, the sheriff, be investigated for environmental negligence. I laughed so hard I nearly tipped my chair. She had no idea who she was tangling with. People like Lisa think rules are their personal arsenal, but they forget some of us make the rules. Push too far, and we don't push back, we bury you in citations and codes that end debates before they start. The next morning, a plastic notice slapped against my gate, laminated and screaming in block letters: "Violation. Unauthorized agricultural display. Immediate removal required." No county seal, no contact info, just a glittery signature from interim HOA beautification chair, Lisa. I tossed it in the burn barrel, figuring she was just venting. I was wrong. By noon, neighbors called, furious. Old man Frank, whose cattle had grazed here since the 70s, growled. She put a pink tag on my steer. June, who'd lived here forever, found a pamphlet on her door, "Vision for a Cleaner Community," with diagrams of a golf course, not our wild prairie. Then Lisa hacked the community Facebook group, posting about rural blight and visual uniformity guidelines. She wasn't even an admin, reported the moderator for posting chicken photos. It was war now. At the feed store, her flyers plastered the bulletin board, one showing my hay bales with red XS, another with a cowboy captioned, "Are you the problem?" I left one up for evidence. Back at the ranch, I found a loosened tarp and fresh footprints too small for mine, too clumsy for a ranch hand. Trail cam footage confirmed it. Lisa, at 2:17 a.m., creeping in black like a budget spy, sniffing hay, poking it, scribbling notes. The next day, mailboxes sprouted her "Hay Health Alert" flyers, warning of mold-induced lung collapse in kids, citing a fake journal. It wasn't just laughable, it was criminal. I met the assistant county attorney, who reviewed the evidence and sighed. She's impersonating a governing body and spreading false health info. That's 2, maybe 3 misdemeanors. I held off on charges, waiting for her next move. At the farmer's market, Lisa set up a table with a legal fund, HOA development jar, handing out cupcakes and petitions to ban toxic hay. She told one guy I was an absentee landlord tanking property values. She told another I was under investigation for livestock abuse. When she saw me, she shoved a clipboard at me with a fake smile. "We're cleaning up the community." I took it, noting her name, Lisa M. Reynolds, HOA chair, and 5 signatures, including her cat's. I faced the crowd. "Morning, folks. I'm Sheriff Brooks. There's no HOA here. These flyers are fake, and she's been caught trespassing and forging documents. That donation jar? It's funding fraud." Lisa's face collapsed. She tried to grab the clipboard, but Harris, right on cue, took it. The crowd murmured, some backing away, one guy snatching his $5 back. Lisa screamed about cowboy cover-ups, but no one listened. A reporter snapped her flailing beside her ban the Bales banner. By night, the photo went viral, captioned, "This ain't the suburbs, lady." Memes exploded, "When the hay's too spicy for Lisa." But I knew humiliation wouldn't stop her, it would enrage her. 3 days later, I woke to silence, the kind that prickles your skin. A third of my hay bales were gone, drag marks and tire ruts trailing off. I didn't call it in. Instead, I planted dummy bales, scrap metal, old hoses, and glitter-filled cores, each with a GPS tracker. That night, the tracker pinged at 1:30 a.m., moving to Lisa's backyard. I followed in my unmarked truck, spotting figures unloading bales under solar lights, with lawn chairs and a sign like some twisted exhibit. Through binoculars, I saw Lisa placing placards, "Excessive browning, rustic aroma." I called Harris and 2 deputies, and we moved in, my body cam rolling. I stepped into the light. "Evening, Lisa. Nice art installation." She froze, pale as death. "This is private property," she stammered. "So's my hay," I said. "That's felony theft and trespassing." She tried playing victim. "I found them abandoned." I held up my notepad. "We have you on camera, crossing a locked gate, moving tract property. This isn't art, it's theft." She snapped at her twitchy helper to call her lawyer, but he muttered, "I thought we had permission." I cut in. "We have footage, trackers, everything. You're facing a court summons." Lisa cracked, hurling her clipboard and screaming about hillbilly junkyards. Harris raised an eyebrow. "That junkyard feeds half the state, ma'am." I handed her papers: civil theft, trespassing, impersonation of authority. She took them, trembling, and spat. "This isn't over." I nodded. "No, it's not." We left her under her garden lights, her stolen bales mocking her. At the station, I filed charges. The story spread fast. A deputy's cousin leaked a glittery bale photo, captioned, "Don't touch the sheriff's hay." It went viral. The courthouse buzzed when I arrived. Lisa had sued me for harassment, defamation, and loss of community development revenue, claiming her hay installation was a rural rejuvenation initiative. Her lawyer, Victor Klein, strutted in with a shiny suit and a briefcase full of bravado. Lisa followed, sunglasses on, acting like a martyr. Her folder brimmed with fake HOA papers and blog printouts. I sat with a USB drive and a calm stare. Judge Eleanor Tate reviewed the papers, then gave Klein a weary look. "I'm struggling to find a basis for these claims." "Your strongest argument." Klein ranted about aesthetic suppression and agricultural intimidation, earning chuckles from the crowd. Lisa nodded like a fanatic. When my turn came, I stood. "Your Honor, this flash drive has trail cam footage, audio, and tracker data." The screen lit up with Lisa sneaking onto my land, muttering about mold, then dragging bales to her yard, bragging on a call about teaching the sheriff a lesson. Klein slouched, sweating. Lisa looked crushed. I faced the judge. "This isn't about hay. It's about someone who thinks the law doesn't apply to her." She lied, trespassed, stole, and sued to intimidate. The real damage is to neighborly trust. Tate leaned back. "Ms. Reynolds, any defense?" Lisa stood, shaky. "I thought I was forming an HOA. I wanted order." Tate's voice was ice. "You trespassed, stole, and lied. That's chaos, not order." She dismissed the suit. referred Lisa for charges, and commended my restraint. The gavel fell. Outside, the crowd erupted. Someone left a tiny straw bale on Lisa's car with a note. Let it go. The paper screamed, Sheriff crushes HOA tyrant in haste showdown. That night, I fed the cattle, the bales standing proud. But a neighbor called Lisa was seen with a sharp-dressed man, blueprints in hand. She'd lost, but she wasn't done. Past midnight, my fence alarm pinged. I grabbed a flashlight and crept to the barn, spotting a shadow Lisa, spray painting HOA power on the wood. I flicked on the light. She gasped, dropped the can, and fell in the hay. Karen, we gotta stop meeting like this, I said. She muttered about symbolic speech. I shook my head. Not at 1 a.m. on my barn. She pointed, defiant. You cling to this chaos, Bales, barns, dirt roads. Someone has to bring order. I looked at her, pity creeping in. You're not here for order, Lisa. You're here because you can't control the world. Communities aren't built by control theory, built by trust. She looked away, deflated. I called Harris, who took her to the cruiser. No cuffs, just quiet professionalism. By morning, a ranch hand painted over the graffiti. Lisa took a plea, restitution, community service, and a promise to leave. The neighborhood threw a cookout with a hay bale photo booth for laughs. A laminated note appeared on my fence. Your hay still looks stupid, with a drawing of a perfect lawn. I pinned it above my desk, a reminder of what happens when ego masquerades as law. Weeks later, Harris sent a video Lisa, in a new town, railing against a scarecrow at a council meeting. Some folks never learn. Back at the ranch, the bales stood tall under a golden sunset, silent and unshaken. Let someone call them a threat again. I had the badge, the land, and the law, and no one was moving my hay.